Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about deer skulls. And so we've got a very nice deer that someone has brought in, and of course it has been completely cleaned off. We've got everything prepped and ready, and they want it dipped. So we thought we'd shoot a quick little video, show you guys a few steps on if you're wanting to dip a deer skull, this is the way to do it, and a few things to watch out for whenever you are doing the dipping process. So let's get started. So whenever you do get a deer skull in, as you can clearly tell, we've got everything all masked off. So the one thing to definitely remember is that whenever you have a skull like this and you've got all the horns, you definitely want to make sure that you mask everything off, of course, to make sure that you don't get any of the coating or the paint or the clear or anything like that onto the horns itself. Now, the other thing that we also like to do is that because this is bone, you definitely want to make sure that you prime it first. So using a good quality primer is definitely going to be key on making sure that you get a really good adhesion as well as you get good coverage. Now, of course, after the primer, then you're going to lay down a base coat. So in this case, we chose a white base coat for the film that we're going to be dipping, but in your case, it may be a beige or a tan or a green or whatever color that you choose to use underneath your film itself. So now that we are at this point right here, we've got everything masked off, we've got everything prepped out and ready to go. Let's go ahead, lay out our film, and get ready for the dip. All right, so this is going to be the pattern that we're going to be dipping. Now, a couple of things to remember on a pattern like this. Now, if you do have a camouflage, you don't really have to worry about this, but because the words are in this, you definitely want to make sure that you have the words going the correct way whenever it is dipped. And so whenever it's dipped, you want to be able to, of course, read the pattern or the words as they're going across. So that's number one to definitely check out. Now, the other thing is that if you'll notice, if we set this part right here, these horns are massive, and so instead of wasting a whole bunch of material with this right here, what we're going to do is we're going to create our own dividers, and we're going to create what's called like a floating divider. And so what we're going to end up doing is because this is plenty big right here for this part right here, we're going to give ourselves a couple of inches, give ourselves a couple of inches back here, and because we've got all of this right here, we're just going to go ahead and mask off this area here and this area right here. And so that's going to give us a really good border, but not something to where we have to use tons more film for just getting into the antlers itself. And so what we'll do is we'll take and tape this off just like this. And then once we've got this masked off, we'll go ahead and cut everything and get it ready to go. Now, the one thing that you definitely want to make sure of is that you have your tape covering each corner like this, so that way whenever you lay it down in the water, the film does not want to expand. And so these taped borders all the way around right here will keep everything together. And so now that we have this, what we're going to do is we're going to dip this in two sections. And so the first section is going to be coming up, and we're going to probably stop somewhere around in this area right here. And then we're going to come right back around and then flip it over and then dip it backwards into the pattern itself. So then that way this will roll up into this and hopefully make a really nice line right through here. Now, a lot of the times, if you do it in one dip, you certainly can. But if you do it in one dip, then the problem is that because this is so small of an area right here, it tends to want to stretch a lot as it goes through here. And so you don't want that. So this is the reason why we'll go ahead and do it in a double dip. So that way we have the first part of the dip right here, and then the second part of the dip is going to be from here all the way down. And it also helps in getting a lot of this area down in here covered a lot better. So let's go ahead, let's get this first part in the water and show you guys the first part of the dip. All right, so now that we've got everything laid out the way that we need it to be, now we can go ahead and lay this down in the water. Now you'll notice that I have my dividers out quite a bit. Now, whenever we are dipping this, we will not be using our dividers, and that's the reason why we put the tape all the way around to create our own dividers. divider. So let's go ahead, let's get this in the water and get the first part of the dip started. So in a case like this, you want to make sure that, of course, we start our timer, we get everything laid out the way that it needs to be, as well as we want to make sure that we are very careful in the fact that we don't let any water come up and over any of these taped edges. And so we can go ahead and push that down just a little bit, but we just want to try to be mindful of that, so that way we keep everything as nice and tight as possible, and the tape creates our nice border that we need for the dip. So now we'll go ahead and let it soak. Once it has soaked, then we can go ahead, spray our activator, and then of course dip the skull afterwards. So we'll check and make sure that everything looks glassed out, which it does. And so now we're just going to start right back there in the back and just slowly inch our way forward as we're coming down and into it. And you can see where the horns are, of course, breaking that pattern, which is still fine. And so now we can go ahead and we can stop the pattern about right there, and then pull it right back out of the water. And so the first part of the dip, we've got our nice line right through there. We're trying to keep everything this way, so that way the water, of course, is dripping down this way, and then we'll go ahead and we'll lay down the next film, so that way we can go ahead and dip this back section as well. So let's rinse all this off, dry this off just a little bit, and then of course we'll get to the next dip. All right, so now for the next dip, what we're going to be doing is pretty much the exact same thing as the other time, but we're going to cut ourselves a square that is just big enough for the back side of the actual skull itself. So in this case, we definitely don't need a larger piece than what we had before, so we're going to put something about like this right here, and then we'll just come across here, give ourselves plenty of room, and then same thing like before, we're just going to take this and then cut that down there. I'm sorry, tape that down there, and then we'll tape that down there. We've got our new box. Now again, we're only doing the back side of the skull again, so we don't need to have a larger piece, and then we can take this and trim that out, so now we are back with our normal taped border all the way around. And then of course, just like before, we want to make sure that the writing is going correctly, so we'll position this in the water so that way whenever we go to dip it, all the writing still matches up from the first way that we dipped it. So this is ready to go. Let's go ahead, let's get this on the water and get the second dip. So now that we've got this on the water, you can tell, just like before, we've got everything laid down. We're waiting for our soak time to finish so that way we can spray our activator. And then as we're going down, we're going to take the horns themselves and we're actually going to be going backwards into the dip. So we're going to be feeding that in there, and I'm probably going to be holding on to this back side right here. So let's go ahead and get ready for the activation. So of course we've blown everything off so it's not going to drip at all. And then we're going to just lightly start back into here. I'm going to move my hand back here so that way we can get as good of a dip as possible and also still feed this into as much as possible. So now that we've got that, we can pull that out. And now we have a much better looking pattern going all the way through here. Now, yes, it is still stretched, not going to lie on that, but looking all the way around back into here, all the way through into here, and even all the way back into here, we have a much better coverage, even looking through the back side of this everything is covered a lot better, which is exactly what we want. So now we can go ahead, put this in the rinse station, rinse it the first time, and then come back, do any touch-ups that we might need. We might go in and black in these areas in the eye sockets, or do even a like color that's around here, and of course do anything else that's needed, and then apply a good quality clear coat over the top of it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video on how to hydro dip a deer skull. Hopefully we've gave you a couple of different tips and tricks on a few things to look for, as well as how to get the best look on dipping the deer skull that you might have. So if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. We'd always love to hear from you on anything hydrographics related, as well as let me know your thoughts on how the skull turned out, or if you've got any other techniques or ways that you dip a skull. We'd always love to hear from that as well. If you're interested in getting into the hydrographics at all, definitely check out the links in the description below. We're going to have links to our website that has everything that you're going to need for the hydrographics, including the primer, the base coats, even the activator and films, and everything that you're going to need, just like what we use here in this video as well. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We'd always love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips on anything hydrographics related. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.